Have you ever wondered why political systems so often feel like they're not working for everyone? It's a deep question, and the answer might be simpler and more profound than you think. Let's break it down. Imagine society is a giant party. You've got different groups of people, right? Some are bound by family ties like a tribe. Others share the same beliefs like a sect. And some are grouped by their standard of living, which we call a class. So, all these groups, classes, parties, tribes, sects, are just smaller segments of the whole population. They share common interests and want to achieve common goals. So far, so good. But here's the twist. What happens when one of these groups, just one, takes control of the entire society? Whether it's a political party, a specific class, or a dominant tribe, the result is the same. It becomes a dictatorship. Why? Because that group is, by definition, a minority. The people, all of the people, are not the party, not the class, and not the tribe. When a minority rules, the interests of the vast majority are pushed aside. Think about it. In a true democracy, how could we justify one class suppressing all others for its own benefit? How could one party crush its rivals and claim to represent everyone? It's a contradiction. Allowing this to happen abandons the very idea of democracy and opens the door to using force to maintain power. These actions aren't for the good of the whole society. They're for the benefit of one small slice of it. The argument for this kind of takeover is usually that society is messy, with too many competing interests, and that one group needs to take charge and clean house for everyone's sake. But that's a classic dictator's playbook. This so-called liquidation of other groups is fundamentally an act against any member of society who does not belong to the ruling clique. A nation divided by party conflict is just as broken as one torn apart by tribal warfare. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's say a political party claims to represent the working class. Over time, that party inevitably becomes a substitute for the class itself. It starts to develop its own interests, separate from the very people it was meant to serve. Eventually, it can even become hostile to them. Even if an entire class like the working class were to successfully take over and eliminate all other classes, what happens next? It inherits all the problems of the old society. Soon, differences will appear within this new one-class society. People's incomes and social importance will become unequal. New groups will form, and guess what? These new groups start acting just like the old classes that were supposedly eliminated. The struggle for power begins all over again. Each new faction, each new class will fight to become the new ruling power. History has shown us this pattern again and again. Every attempt to solve the problem of government by putting one class, one party, or one tribe in charge has ultimately failed. And the idea of unifying society under a single banner, whether through force or ideology, just doesn't work in the long run. In the society is naturally diverse, and trying to flatten it into a single entity is like trying to stop the tide. Similarly, systems that rely on electing representatives to a parliament, hoping they will appease the masses, have also fallen short. It seems like a constant cycle, a waste of time and energy that makes a mockery of the people's desire for genuine representation. The fundamental flaw remains: a minority, no matter how it's chosen or what it calls itself, ends up ruling the majority. So what's the alternative? That's the billion-dollar question we all need to be asking. If parties, classes, and parliaments have failed, where do we go from here? The first step is understanding the problem. The instruments of government we've created just aren't working for the whole of society. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. If this got you thinking, hit that like button. Subscribe for more content that challenges the status quo, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation